Hey, how you guys doing? This is William Myers from Mantis Outdoors, and today we're going to show you how to make a primitive torch. Alright, so I had a brief little discussion about lighting your camp and things like that. Maybe if you want to go hunting really quick and you want your camp lit up so you can easily find your way back and things like that. And what I do in cases like that is I'll make some kind of a torch or a candle lantern, things like that, hang it in my camp. That way all I gotta do is turn around, okay, camp's right there. You know, you leave camp in the day and then it gets dark. It can be a little bit of a confusing situation to find your way back to camp, depending on how far away you go. The situation changes and you kind of lose your way a little bit. So what we got here is a stick that I've kind of gone to as far as where you make a frog gig kind of, and but I haven't sharpened the tines. And then I'll put a little spike on the end of it. Okay, so what I do is I'll put a bunch of green stuff, sticks and stuff like that in it, and keep going. A lot of as many green sticks and stuff, pack it with it. Just keep going in alternate directions with it. You want all this to be as green as possible so it burns longer. Just keep kind of alternating, getting a nice platform there. And then I got some red pine resin that I'll shove in there. This can be a little bit of a sticky job. This works really well though. Pack that in there pretty good. And then we'll continue putting a little bit more twigs on top, more pine resin. There it is. And this will burn pretty good. You know, this is something that I would stick and light right before I wanted to go off trail. I wouldn't carry this with you. I would stick this in your camp and leave it there, because we'll talk about why here in a second, actually. All right, some more pine resin on top, fill in those gaps. This is really, really good pine resin. This is all off of one tree. And this will burn for quite a while. It's a lot of resin that I'm packing in here. And once this gets going, it can be a little cantankerous to actually start this and get it rolling. But once it does, it's going to go for a while. But you want all this stuff to be green so it'll burn, so it won't burn up really fast. Alright, so if anybody has ever used pine resin to like burn or anything like that, they know the inherent dangers of this. It can turn into liquid napalm in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to lean it, we're going to put it in the ground, but we're going to clean off the space to allow dripping and things like that. And then we're going to put this into the ground, just like this. And you can leave like a fork off it to hang certain stuff. But if this is leaning like this, it's not going to catch anything else on fire. And then we can light it. And that's going to stay lit once it gets going really well. See, it's starting to go now. And that thing will burn for half hour, 45 minutes probably. Just a little torch to help you find your way. Now, like I said, you're not going to want this thing to be like something you're going to carry around, you know, because the dripping off of it causes major burns. But you know, it's dripping onto the ground right now. You know, and things like this could actually help you get a fire going too. I've used pine resin. I keep it in my kits as an emergency fire starter. It's nothing that's going to take a spark, but it takes a flame. So if you have, you know, emergency surefire, that's going to take a flame from a spark, and then you transfer that flame to your resin. You have a fire, and then you have something that's going to keep lit for quite a long time. See, the wind's getting a little aggressive, and it's still not going out. So, you know, you could use a candle to do something like this, but a candle is going to be affected by the wind a little bit more than your pine resin would.
Now, would there be any benefit to putting something underneath of it to catch the drippings to be reused?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, maybe like a plank of wood to catch those drippings, and then you could recycle those for your fire when you get back into camp. Yeah, absolutely.
So you can see it's really...
You know, right now what's coming off is just pretty much refined pine resin. That's all refined. It's going to be a little cleaner. So, I mean, people use that for medicinal purposes. Teas, I mean, it sucks, but there is definitely medicinal properties there. Chewing gums, there's 100 things that pine resin is good for. You know, it's just all about how to use it and when to use it. And be safe about it, guys, because this stuff can hurt you. All right. This has been burning for quite a while. It's probably going on 20 minutes now. And you can see the puddle that we got going on underneath here. That's why you want to angle this thing, you know. And Chris is absolutely right. You know, a wooden plank down here, something like that's going to collect all that. And that could just be relit. That's just drippings from being so hot and dripping down. That's all going to have the same terpenes in it that acts as an accelerant.
And that was actually on fire there a second ago.
Yeah. But you can see why you want to definitely clear a space out, because you don't want an accidental fire going on. You know, adversely, if you're not comfortable with burning pine resin like that, you know, there is an inherent danger there. You could use, you know, like basically a primitive lamp candle holder, kind of. The only thing is that this is going to be susceptible to the wind. Maybe you want, if you have a prevailing wind, you're going to want to shield this a little bit. But all I do is sharpen a stick, split a stick, sharpen a stick, and I have a small piece of leather that I wrap around the candle, and then I split the stick, and I wrap the leather around the candle, and then I shove the leather inside the split, and that holds the candle. So then you can shove it in the ground. You might want this to be a little bit bigger, and then light the candle, and that'll light your camp up. That way you'll have something to guide you back to camp if you're not 100% sure on exactly where you're going. You know, this would just, you know, give you a little bit of a sign, light up your camp a little bit, show you the way back, you know, things like that. And plus, I mean, it could give you a little bit of a light if you're not wanting to build a huge campfire, maybe in the middle of summer, you know, things like that. There's a bunch of different reasons why I would do something like that. Inside of a cabin or inside of a shelter even, this would work. You know, this could even work inside of a shelter, you know, and these beeswax candles, they don't emit a bunch of smoke, so it's not going to smoke up a shelter. I burn these a lot inside, like super shelters and things like that. So, you know, this is just a couple more reasons to do something like this, and ways that you can apply this. You know, it's just a nice little trick to lighten up your camp, and doesn't cost anything. Alright guys, well, this has been William Myers from Mantis Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. For some more of our previous videos, they're over in the boxes playing right now to my left. There's also a subscribe button over there, and if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you click subscribe. You can stay up to date with me and what's going on with the videos by going to www.facebook.com/Mantis Outdoors. By going to www.mantisoutdoorsllc.com, you can stay up to date with the videos, you can read my articles and other blogs that I write. You can also shop in the store, get some beeswax candles and some other things that are coming to the site very soon. So appreciate all your views, comments, and support, and hopefully we'll see you out in the woods.